On a cold December evening, hunters around the state of Texas prepare their hunts. Some may be headed to the deer blind, and others may be preparing for a varmint hunt expedition. They carry the proper identification, and they carry their tags and all the tools necessary to complete the task at hand. According to the International Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies, hunting in America is a big business, generating more than $67 billion in economic output and more than 1 million jobs in America. The economic benefits from hunting are tremendous. Today, I'm going to persuade you that hunting is a valuable tool for population control and ecological homeostasis. I have done extensive research on the topic at hand from various media outlets. I will do this by informing you on how hunting controls overpopulation of wild animals, the impact on hunting of ecological systems with wolves by changing the rivers, and the benefits of varmint hunting. A $67 billion industry makes an impact on our economy as well as population of animals. Overpopulated areas via white-tailed deer have many disadvantages, according to Caroline Cook with the New York Times. An estimated 1.23 million deer collision with vehicles occurred between July 1st, 2011 and June 30th, 2012. In a one-year time span, deer have caused an incredible amount of damage. Overpopulation can account for this time. Cook also mentions the high amount of deer vehicle collisions resulted in 2,000 animal collisions, which resulted in human fatalities between 2001 and 2011. Population control by hunting could decrease the number of fatal and unfatal car accidents. In addition to the vehicle damage, deer also cause damage to properties, resources, and crops. An overpopulation of deer in an area of land can cause devastation to crops and plantation. According to wildlifecontrol.info, deer feed on flowers, fruits, vegetables, buds and twigs, and other plants and shrubs. Some of these plants can't withstand the amount of stress that the deer put on them, so they die and lose their fruit. This, in return, is a loss to the farmers and to citizens. Overpopulation can take away from resources that are useful to crops and other forages for livestock. Hunting can directly affect the price of beef and the price of commodities. Hunting wild game provides for food for families over the entire world. Thanks to hunters, a balancing force can remain intact. In addition to hunting whitetail for population and food hunting, varmints prove to be a useful tool. Although it doesn't directly provide hunters with food, it indirectly supports the growth and strength of other food animals. According to Chelsea Smith with Wide Open Spaces, coyotes are extremely clever animals, which means they can adapt quickly to their environments. If food is scarce, they'll raid farms and homes. At best, they'll simply clear out bowls of pet food. At worst, the family pet or the prized livestock may go missing. Varmints will continue to take desperate measures as long as they are in need of food. The most common occurrence of varmint destruction would be the death of chickens. Many varmints will dig or climb their way into a chicken pen and eat whatever is slow enough to be caught. This causes significant damage to animals and the farmers. It removes a food source that supplies a constant source of protein from eggs as well as meat. Larger varmints will cause more damage, injure larger animals, and become bigger problems. Thanks to hunting efforts, these animals can be stopped. In addition to the loss of profit, many varmints carry diseases. Smith also states coyotes are subject to contagious diseases like rabies and parvo, as well as parasites like mange, lice, and fleas and worms. Many of these diseases can be passed from coyotes to dogs, and then from dogs to humans. Animals such as hogs, coyotes, bobcats, and even skunks will last damage. However, with the use of hunting, these animals can remain in small numbers, which decreases property damage and increases animal survival rate, all which play a part in the ecological homeostasis. In 1995, wolves were reintroduced to Yellowstone National Park, and all the changes were documented. Before the introduction of wolves, elk controlled the park. The elk were destroying wildlife, damaging banks of streams, and driving out other species from the park. Hunting was strictly prohibited, so the elk population continued to double at an astonishing rate. Therefore, a decision was made, and the wolves were introduced to the park. The wolves' hunting skills made a miraculous change in the environment. By adding a higher level predator to the park, the environment thrived as it returned to homeostasis. But how exactly does the introduction of wolves change the river? Well, elk moved out of the valley regions to seek more protection from the wolves. This promoted growth of grasses in the aspens, and the new aspens brought more songbirds to the area, which allowed for movement of seeds. The introduction of new plants from these seeds brought the beavers, bears, and buffalo back to the park. The increased plant growth, a decrease in population of larger animals, and the benefits of the beavers allowed the rivers to strengthen. Banks were stronger due to increased vegetation and less animal impact. The fish began to thrive, and the park took its first steps to maintaining ecological homeostasis. According to Doug Smith with Yellowstone National Park, adding hunters to the park, such as the wolves, was like kicking a pebble down a mountain slope, where the conditions were just right that a falling pebble could trigger an avalanche of change. After exploring facts from several reputable sources, I have informed you on how hunting controls overpopulation of wild animals, the impact of hunting on ecological systems with wolves changing the rivers, and the benefits of varmint hunting, which all present critical information to the topic. I hope after hearing these ideas you have a better understanding of the good hunters do for the economy and for the environment. The good we do is irreplaceable. Thank you.